Can. Okay. So Tara Lynn Carpenter said, is this a clear niche? Who am I anymore? I help empathic and neuro-divine women who've lost themselves in motherhood, people-pleasing, or trauma become unshakable in who they are and their divine path in life. I do this through the healing process and creating a personal sanctuary in their home. Neuro-Divine is my word for neurodivergent. It helps remove the negative connotations. Would I use neurodivergent when talking about Island A and Neuro-Divine when I'm talking about Island B? Where does Island C come into play in marketing? Is hub marketing your Island C? Okay, so I'm going to make a little Google Doc so that we can just kind of take a look at this and parse this niche out together a little bit. Okay, so it's a great question. Okay, so you can all see this. And right, who am I anymore? Now, this is great, by the way. It's a great way to lead on a page or a sales letter is to say the phrase that they often say to themselves. If there's something that you know they're saying to themselves, it's very helpful to name that. So one I saw was a relationship coach for couples in crisis, and the headline was, "What happened to us?" Yeah, it's a very common thing they might say. So I would invite everyone just on your own, or you can put it in the chat, I suppose, if you want. What's the kind of thing your person says to themselves when they're in the depths, when they're at the breaking point? What is it they say to themselves? What's the like in 4 or 5 words? They're just like, "Ugh, it's okay if you swear," but like, what do they say to themselves that is in that moment of frustration? Mm-hmm. Couple good ones there. Right. Okay, I'm going to read a few of these. All right. What the hell do I do? Absolutely. What's missing? Am I getting that? Why do I all the time? Why can't I say something a bit more visceral? And this is important. A lot of marketing is kind of bloodless language. It's antiseptic, and we want to write in the way that people actually talk to themselves. Like instead of "I need clear guidance," they'd probably say something like, "I'm so fucking lost right now." You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they word it to themselves. How did I get here? Yeah. Why am I working so hard and yet feeling so unfulfilled? Yeah. Why do I feel so lost? This is bullshit. Yeah. What am I ever going to get anywhere with my songwriting? Yeah. Exactly. Am I ever going to get anywhere with my songwriting? I am totally clueless about blank. Why don't I feel like I belong? How can I be seen? Well, fuck. I thought I was just a failure. Okay. I don't know why they would say that in their point of frustration. Yeah, always drop an F-bomb to resonate with their frustrations. I do suggest people put a swear word in. And you don't have to, but that's how do people talk to themselves in that moment? They're not being polite. They're not filtering themselves. So yeah, it's not like every headline needs a swear word, but it's good to uh just remember the intensity that they're feeling, right? What the hell am I doing? Why do I have to do everything? Am I ever going to feel happy and fulfilled? I'm so creatively constipated. Yeah. How the fuck do I feel better? How the fuck am I here again? I feel like such a fucking robot. Yeah, yeah. It hurts so much. Yeah. Does anyone else fucking care that I'm here doing this? All of that. So, anyways, all of this comes from, right? Who am I anymore? So if you can say the thing that they're saying to themselves, there's instant relevance. Okay, so I help empathic neurodivine women who've lost themselves in motherhood, people pleasing, or trauma. Okay, so I get a general sense of who this is. I think Neuro-Divine is okay. I mean, there's Neuro-Spicy, Neuro-Divine. There's a lot of different ways of saying it. My guess is your people will get it. I don't think you'll have to explain that. So I think it's fine. Right, but who've lost themselves in motherhood, people pleasing, or trauma. Yeah, okay. So I'd say generally I get this. I find myself I think there's probably deeper that you can dig here, but then, okay, become unshakable in who they are. So this is, okay, so this is who, right? Empathic neurodivine women. This is what I would call Island A. Island A is the problem. Lost themselves in motherhood, people pleasing, or trauma. This is what I would call Island C. Island C is what do you want for them? Become unshakable in who they are and their divine path in life. And my guess is they're not craving this, right? They're not coming to you saying, "Could you make me unshakable in who I am and my divine path?" They're not saying that. There's something else they're craving, and this often happens in marketing. And something I would recommend for a lot of you, if you haven't seen this, if you're on my email list, you might have already seen this. You know, Hi there, Ted Hargrave here. Thanks so much for stopping. Oh, I know. Um, no, videos. Okay. This is pretty recent, this one. The two sides worksheet. So I'm going to put this in the chat, but this has a worksheet in the comments below. And this goes over one of the major sticking points, which is that people, and maybe I'll just open it up so you can see it here. Oh, okay. So you can see Island C. This is kind of the positive prognosis. Like, what is it that you see is possible for them that they don't see? And so, what is that? Well, it's that they can become unshakable in who they are in their divine path, right? That's like, hey, if you do this work, that's what's available for you. But that's different than Island B, which is the specific situations they're urgently craving to be in, the results they're yearning for. That's Island B. So what's missing to me here is Island B. One of my favorite questions for Island B is who do they envy and why? And I would really invite you to consider for your questions, who do they envy and why? The more specific you are with the names, the better, but you could have a general, like they envy the bohemian types who can just go travel and do whatever they want with their life. Yeah. Okay. And then I do this through the healing process of creating a personal sanctuary in their own home. So this is the boat. This is the, and it's kind of the boat, a bit of point of view, but this is the what you do, how you do it. So generally good. I'd love to see what they're craving in this, but generally I get it. Generally, I have a sense. So thank you very much for your question, Terilyn. Does that make sense? Does that help?
Yeah, that does. So I'm doing market research right now. So I interviewed a friend of mine who's kind of in this. And she's actually the one who said unshakable. She wants to be unshakable. I was like, okay, you are, but she's also very super aware. And through our friendship over the years, I've kind of guided her a little bit too. So maybe she's farther in the process than who I would normally be working with.
It could be, and it could be. And the other thing I would say is that um, the Island A and Island B are a mirror image of each other, right? Island A unhealthy, Island B is healthy. It's not Island A is unhealthy, Island B. You're in a relationship. Like it doesn't match. So if what they're most craving, if the clearest thing is, I just want to be unshakable, then to me, Island A is they are shaken somehow. And so then
Yeah.
it's, which is kind of spoken of in terms of they've lost themselves. Um, but so then it's good to hone down the journey. It's like 3 words for Island A, 3 words for Island B. What is so if Island B is they do want to be unshakable. But I mean, yeah, market research is good to test this out.
Yeah. So then how do you or do you talk about Island C in your marketing? Like where does that come into play?
Later. Because Island C isn't relevant to them. I mean, for everyone, like if you're in most of you're old enough that you look like you've probably had the experience of being in a lot of pain physically at one point in your life. Yeah. When you're in that kind of pain, if somebody came up to you and said, would you like to have glowing, radiant vitality and health? You just punch them. Because it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we're not there. I just want the pain to go away. I'm not here for this long-term discussion about my health. So the first thing we have to do is establish the relevance. Once we've done that, now that could be Island A and Island B or either or, but once they're like, yeah, that's me, then very quickly we can move into, okay, here's what's possible for you, and here's why that's possible. We can go into, but not until we've got the relevance established. And if we lead with Island C, we just lose them. There's no relevance at all.
So would that be like on a sales page where you're like, here's where I'm taking you type of a thing?
Yeah. Yeah, it can be anywhere. Home page, sales page, but they just have to see themselves. This is the key. When they look at the headline, it's got to be, that's me. If they don't look at it and say, that's me, and they're not going to say, that's me if we talk about our boat, and they're not going to say, that's me if we talk about Island C. It's got to be who they are. I mean, I've got the day-long workshop on the ideal client, which is coming up at the end of the month on the 30th. And that's the whole focus of the day. It's how do you create an ideal client page on your website, or like an Are We a Fit page? Because I mean, it's got to be on your homepage and all over your site. But it's nice if you can have a page on your website and it's a nice dojo to practice in. It's a nice experiment. Could you write something up that your ideal client would read, and by the end of it, they're like, this person understands me?
Mm.
And the Island Sea just isn't in that. It's a separate thing. It's like, now that you feel like I get it, and that can happen in a sentence that they think you get it. But now that I think you get it, now, okay, what do you think? Yeah. Okay, I gotta move on. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.